A pleasure to meet y'all at last, and welcome back to Nerf Secret Revealed Aftersought. So, let's go ahead and ask a question, for old time's sake. Would you ever bring a nail gun to a Nerf battlefield? I'm just not really sure. This is a pretty strange idea as far as I'm concerned, and I guess it's fitting so because of the fact that it comes from, you guessed it, the Zombie Strike lineup. This is the Zombie Strike Nailbiter, a blaster that pretty much originates from a sub-series of Zombie Strike blasters known as the Survival System. This is only one of two that currently exist, and this came out as far back as summer 2019. And I bought this last year, just as you'd expect. It was brand new when I first got this, and there were plenty of other blasters that I picked up in 2019. Well, anyways, if there's a few things that I can highlight off of this blaster already, it'd be the fact that, well, this is a serious trigger. Look at how huge it is. There's really not many blasters out there that have such a gigantic trigger like this, but surprisingly, I can fit my whole hand on there pretty much. All four of my fingers sit comfortably on this thing, and oh my gosh, you can't make this up. You cannot make this up. Like, look at this. I'll try it again. Wow. Okay, now it's doing it again. Are you serious? And there's a freaking AccuStrike dart in there. How does that fail? Okay, now they all came out just fine, so never mind. Well, anyways, look at this. This is one of those blasters where it has a permanent clip attached to it, and you can't really remove it no matter what you do. I mean, this is not the only example that has a clip on it that can pretty much never be removed. We've gotten others, like the Elite Ruckus. Yeah. But we've also had ourselves an earlier example, like that of the N-Strike Mag Strike, except the main difference here, the major difference, is that, well, the clip comes up like this, and you can easily just pull it out really easily. If you have to reload darts or anything like that, or even replace it with a clip full of darts, then, well, that's pretty much all you got to do here. So the Nailbiter kind of makes a good reference to that in general, but I will say for sure that there's really a lot of other things I might want to say about this, but you know what? Let's go ahead and try out something that I am always going to try out. I'm going to integrate a little invisible integration. Here we go. Firing test of invisibullets. Are you kidding me? It doesn't work with invisibullets? I mean, wow, just wow. This, wow. This is historical. I mean, I've never encountered a moment where invisible integration has nothing, has no effect. This blaster here is not worthy of that, of invisible integration whatsoever. Well, you know what? It's a blaster that was never doomed from the start. I mean, it was a pretty interesting concept for what it was. And being that it came out on the same plane of blasters as the Scavenger did, yeah. Something else I might have to talk about some other time. But anyways, the Nailbiter also had itself a unique set of accessories. It came with its own barrel that was kind of like that of, I guess, one of those drill bits that kind of bores holes on it. And then there was the stock attachment, which pretty much had a dart storage in it, which is very akin to that of how you can store screwdrivers or whatnot. So those are some pretty good additions to that of a blaster that probably could have been done pretty good, but in all honesty, my personal rating on that blaster is more or less about a 6.2, but I'm gonna have to ramp it down to 2 points. Yeah, 4.2, because one, it barely does a lot, especially with that gigantic trigger, and the fact that, well, if you don't handle your darts properly when loading, it won't fire them at all. It's not the only example of blasters that happen to refuse to fire darts out just because you didn't load them in properly or all the way or whatnot, but that's just frustrating. Who out there would realize that a dart would refuse to fire or misfire out of it because it wasn't loaded in all the way, or snugly, or solid, or whatnot? But that's just a bad state. And even worse, apparently I cannot put an invisible integration within it. I cannot use invisibullets with that blaster. Well, you know what? I'm done there. So I've handled a lot of blasters, and yeah, you know what? Just no. The Megalodon was pretty bad for what it was. Its ergonomics were strange, and the way you handle it is just awful. Its giant drum kind of gets in the way sometimes too, and the fact that it can slip out easily if you're not careful with it, plus the fact that it has the same problem as what I've done here, where you can't really fire darts out of it, and, well, the Nailbiter is kind of a unique example, pretty much. The fact that it comes with additional pieces for it so you can make it into an even bigger blaster? What were they thinking? Yeah. Well, you know what? That's pretty much the end of that, because I still got plenty of other blasters that I'm going to have to talk about, so maybe I can find something to help calm me down a bit, because it's just getting out of hand. So you know what? That's pretty much all I got to talk about on the Nailbiter itself, and there's really a lot more ahead of me, so stay tuned for more. But if you want to see more, go down on my channel. Make sure that you like, subscribe, comment, follow me on social media, and stay on the Hollywood side.